Hello? Oh, hey there. I didn't expect you to be here this early, but I'm glad you're here. I was just whipping up a 30-gallon batch of my Duke's mayonnaise, so don't mind me. And I tell you, people freaked out about a dozen eggs in my keto bread. What do you think they're gonna think about 100 dozen in this recipe? Oh well. You know, at Thanksgiving time, somebody always comes early, and so it's nice to be prepared and have things done ahead of time so you don't have to spend the whole day cooking, and you can enjoy time with family or just enjoy time by yourself, either way. So today I'm gonna show you a Thanksgiving menu that you can make ahead. Stick around. There's something really nice about making a quick and easy Thanksgiving dinner because you've done the preparation ahead of time. I'm gonna put all the links to these videos down in the description, so if you see anything you really wanna make, just look right down there and you'll find the video. Hopefully you're gonna make all of them because that'll make for a delicious Thanksgiving. Now while you're waiting for the meats and all the side dishes, why don't you have some sausage balls? Everybody likes sausage balls. Now tell me these sausage balls don't look absolutely delicious. They are definitely a favorite, even with my non-keto friends, and it just takes these simple ingredients to make it. They are super simple to put together, and everybody's gonna absolutely love them. What I would recommend to do with these is just pre-make these in the balls, put them in the fridge, and then cook them fresh that day. So that can be one of the things that you do. And I like to serve it with this cranberry sauce that you'll see later in the video. I'm telling you, those sausage balls are absolutely delicious. Now, let's talk turkey. No, really, turkey. I'm gonna show you two of my favorite ways to cook turkey breast. And you can cook these ahead of time and then just freeze them and thaw them out a couple days before, and you're good to go. If you don't like turkey, I'm gonna show you how to make my heavenly ham. So this method of cooking the turkey uses the sous vide, so you won't have to worry about your oven getting taken up with a huge turkey. And it only takes about 3 hours to cook the turkey breast, so you could start it ahead of time, and it only takes 3 hours every single time, and you can't overcook it. So if your timing's a little bit off, it won't matter. But if you don't want to go through all that, you can also sous vide it and then freeze it, thaw it out the day before or 2 days before after you cut it into slices. This next method that I absolutely love uses my outdoor smoker. And if you don't have a smoker, it's gonna be hard to make it this way, so you might just want to fast forward to the next thing I'm gonna make. But I'm telling you, if you ever want to buy a kitchen tool for outside, definitely get one of these master-built electric smokers. They are so easy. And I would also definitely recommend a nice little quilt of bacon to go right over the top of it. That is kicking it up to a whole nother level. Now, if you don't like turkey for some reason, let me show you how I make my heavenly ham, as they used to call it. Now, honey-baked ham, but no honey. Now, I'll just tell you right now, this honey-baked ham is absolutely delicious. And it's made in the crock pot, so you can either do that the day of, or you can always do it before and freeze it, or just leave it in the fridge to cut that day. And although I haven't updated the recipe yet, you could definitely use my keto honey on there for the glaze. That would make it absolutely delicious. But either way, you're gonna love this one. There's two different mac and cheese recipes that I have that are delicious. Whether you like a traditional Southern style that I'll show you first, or the super cheesy version, either way, you're gonna really enjoy this. This first version of macaroni and cheese is made with my Nana's over 100-year-old recipe that we down here in the South call macaroni pie, or at least we did here. It does use these packaged elbow noodles from the Great Low-Carb Bread Company, so you'll have to look at the ingredients and see if it's gonna work for you. But if you were planning on eating regular mac and cheese anyway, then I would definitely just get these and make it with that if you can. And there's a lot of options for different pastas you could use out there that are low carb or keto friendly if they work for you. So you can check it out and feel free to use whichever ones you want. This could totally be made and frozen and then heated up the day of. Now this macaroni and cheese recipe is your traditional cheese pool type ooey gooey mac and cheese. I made this to be a knockoff of Popeye's mac and cheese, but you'll know if you like this kind better or the other just by looking at the two of them. Now again, just like the other mac and cheese, you can make this one ahead of time, reheat it the day of, or put it together in the fridge and just bake it that day, just depending on what you'd like to do. And no Thanksgiving is complete without taters and gravy. And I've got 3 different ways that I like to make it. I would recommend the first way if you have the time because it's absolutely delicious. But if not, the other 2 are quick and easy and you can easily make these ahead of time. Check this out. So this is my friend Chris from Chris Cookin' Nashville's recipe, and it is absolutely amazing. The first time I tried it, I was like, I will probably never ever make a different mashed potato recipe again. And I haven't. I make this one every single time. Now, there's a couple of easier versions that I'll show you coming up next. But if you got the time to make it, I'm telling you right now, this is the one you want to make. You can even throw a little bit of my mashed potato extract in there just to kick it up a little bit more if you want to, but it's definitely worth the effort. Now this one uses cauliflower rice, but I will show you in the video how to make sure that it doesn't taste like cauliflower, and you'll love it. It's a little bit easier. Actually, it's a lot easier. The other one's worth the effort, but make this one and you'll be happy too. Oh yeah, and there's a nice new gravy recipe in there with my keto flour also, if you haven't seen that. And this last version of keto mashed potatoes uses radishes. And I'm just telling you right now that if you've never tried this, you gotta try it. It's quick and easy, and it gives you that mashed potato feel. I'll show you how to do it, don't worry. Now the next thing is more of an ingredient, and you can make a big batch of this and then freeze it in individual packets to use in different recipes. It's my knockoff Campbell's Cream of Mushroom Soup, which as you know is in a lot of casseroles, especially down here in the South, but probably worldwide. But this is not made with a bunch of ingredients you can't pronounce. This is clean, whole foods. Let's get into it. Don't buy this stuff. The ingredients are pure junk. I'll show you an easy way to make your own, and you'll never go back to it again. It's super simple. You can make a lot at one time and freeze it to use later. So one of the things we're going to make with that cream of mushroom soup is a broccoli casserole. If you love broccoli and cheese, then you're going to love this broccoli and cheese casserole. If you don't, then you won't. But I make this in 2 different pans so that you can freeze them and then bake it fresh the day that you go on. I would just leave the cheese off of the one that you're going to freeze and put it on fresh that day. I know we've already done some taters, but if you like a tater salad, I would definitely recommend checking out this recipe. Now this one was my Nana's tater salad recipe, but I used Chris Cookin' Nashville's potato recipe from his potato salad to make them. If you don't want to do that, you can always use radishes just like I did on that mashed potato video. Just don't mash them. Cook them, cut them into chunks, and then make that tater salad. You're gonna love it. Now you should have some of that cream of mushroom soup left over, so the next thing we need to make is a green bean casserole. Oh man, I am telling you, you're absolutely gonna love this one. Green bean casserole, just like the broccoli casserole, can be frozen ahead of time and then either cook that day or cook the day before and heat it up. However you'd rather do it. This is an absolutely delicious classic Southern recipe, just a lot healthier version of it. I hope you enjoy this one as much as I do. Now, Thanksgiving usually has some stuffing, where you stuff something inside the bird. This is called dressing down here, because we don't stuff it inside anything, but what we do is stuff it in our mouth, and it's absolutely delicious. Check it out. The best way to do this ahead of time is just go ahead and make it. It freezes really, really well. I would just add everything in there and freeze it, and then cook it the same day, or you could cook it the day before and just reheat it. Just know you may need to add a little bit more broth to it, so just be prepared for that. You may not, but you may. You just never know. But make sure it's the right texture before you serve it. And you can make that recipe either with that keto cornbread like I did in the video, or if you got some of my keto bread in the freezer, just toast it up and follow the same recipe and it'll be absolutely delicious. A little more filling, but absolutely delicious. Now we gotta have some sweet things. So a sweet potato casserole with no sweet potatoes? Yes. But hey, don't tell anybody the secret. They're all gonna wanna do it. And then what are those sweet potato farmers gonna do? I guess they'll grow some of this instead. This works best just to leave the marshmallows off and the pecans off and just freeze the base of it. And then you can add the marshmallows, the pecans, and all that, and then cook it at the time. Or again, this one reheats really well as well. Cranberry sauce is one of the things that we always had at Thanksgiving. And the good news is, you can make a low-carb version of it that's just as good as the original. This recipe is absolutely delicious and super, super simple to make. You can make it and then leave it in the fridge for up to a week, maybe even a little longer, but you know, food police. If you missed cranberry sauce and thought you could never do it again, and I'm not talking about that stuff in a can, this is your recipe. Now I've got a lot of dessert videos. You know that. I love a good dessert. And one thing I love is pound cake. And even better is lemon pound cake. Let's get into that one. I mean, it's lemon pound cake. What more do I need to say? You just make it, store it in the fridge for a week, cut it when you're ready, and everybody's gonna absolutely love this, including you. You can also freeze it to use later. I have some in the freezer right now that I'm thawing out. Now I saved, in my opinion, the best for last. Pecan pie. There is nothing like a pecan pie. You can add some things to it. You can add chocolate into it. You can add a little bourbon in there if you want a nice smoky flavor on top of it. But whatever you do, don't miss out on making this recipe. Everybody's gonna love it. This pecan pie freezes really, really, really well. Now the only thing is, depending on what sweetener you use, it may have a little bit of crystallization in there, but if you throw the pieces in the microwave for just a couple minutes, it fixes that problem and it's absolutely amazing. You're gonna love it. Thank you so much for sharing Thanksgiving with me. I am super thankful to each and every one of you that watch my channel, all your likes and shares, and all your support that you give me. I hope you enjoy this Thanksgiving menu, and happy Thanksgiving to you, and a Merry Christmas, and a great next year. I'll see you soon.